What's good, everybody? It's Mr. Composition and MC. That writes fiction. I'm back at it with another reaction. We got a new Morgan Wallen music video. This is 20 cigarettes, a full pack up in this. But if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video on the road to 10K. Now, I've done a couple of Morgan Wallen reactions. Sometimes they don't go up because of copyright and different things like that. But if you're watching this, then it went up. I clicked on this specifically because I saw the word cigarettes, and I, unfortunately, or whatever, I do smoke cigarettes. So that's literally why I clicked on it. But let's jab out to the tunes. The stuff that I have reacted to or heard from them was dope. I don't super go hard listening to them, but when I catch it, and I feel the vibe, we go ahead and get into it. So yeah, let's check this out, y'all. Trying to think of
20
what this.
cigarettes, and I lit me one on that redwood deck on the Montbriand. She was with her friends, left them standing there. There was more than smoke in that summer air. We burned two while she told me about her hometown. She was drinking Tito's, said I better slow down. I was like, hell no, I ain't drinking by myself, no. Said she loved my accent, so I kept talking. Reached for the pack on the table by my wallet. We tore off the light the night we had left with 13 cigarettes, and I lit me one with the
Okay. What I will say, just country music in general. What's interesting is a lot of their concepts would be simple, but it like gets the point across. Like I could when it goes to music that's going like directly to the feels and different things like that, there's a way that like just the title, and then it's just all like, okay, you started off with 20 cigarettes, you met this woman, gave her one. Y'all were basically talking throughout the night. Boom, now you're down to 13 cigarettes. Like it's interesting because I could literally think of nights where I'm just all like, oh, hey, I don't know if this is his wife or just someone, significant. I don't know his personal life, but just the person hearing it, almost like a How I Met Your Mother, type of thing. I can go back and I can just think about times where, I was smoking at an event, whether performing or just going or just, posted up to go. Beautiful woman comes up to me, asks for a cigarette, or even just not even a bar. I remember there was one time, because I do deliveries on a bike downtown. And so I remember I was posted up one day downtown and smoking a cigarette, and this cute woman, came through, and she had just gotten off of work and she asked me for a cigarette. And I was like, yeah, no problem. And then she kind of like hovered there, kind of was just all like, hey, so, like, how's your day going? Da, 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 da. And I, I was just very just cordial. But the thing is, like, you can just freely talk. It doesn't have to lead to anything. I think I was just so like not even present that I feel like if I would have kind of just been like, oh, you said you just stopped for work. If you don't mind me asking, what is it that you do? And, just simple things like that. I think sometimes I'll hear certain things, but don't look at the action. Like I'm hearing her say she just got off of work. She wanted a cigarette. And I sometimes will think about me in the particular situation and be like, I don't want to be bothered. So I kind of, will put what I think that I would want in the situation on other people. And sometimes it's not the case. Like when I think back to it, I'm just all like, yeah, it didn't have to lead to anything, but I think that she was open to conversation. You know what I mean? And so like I said, I hear these lyrics, I hear that, and it instantly makes me think of those things. So like I said, those sometimes the like you'll hear my tow truck or like there's always like certain stereotypes as far as with like country music or whatever. But for the people that resonates with, it really resonates with. This particular thing, I know it's like 50 seconds in, it's just like you got all this from that. Like, yeah, there's certain songs that will spark thoughts, and this is a reaction, so I'm just giving you that. But yeah, no, this is dope. This is dope.
Windows cracked in my old half ton, singing "Take Me Home" on them country roads. So I turned off on one, then next thing you know, we had a beer bottle looking like an ashtray under that full moon. She was about halfway naked in my truck bed, so I helped her with the rest. She was saying my name, barely even knew it. We were both lying, said we never do this to the music of the wind through the woods.
And kitties with them. This is gorgeous. And the one thing that I notice, and I think I've noticed it in all the tracks that I've reacted to from Morgan. There's this hybrid. There's this hybrid. There's a reality where Morgan Wallen has like a clean Robin Thicke type of freaking like appearance, and he's singing like R&B. You know what I mean? Because you can hear the elements in it. Yeah, and a lot of the verses it's country. But when it does that switch up, when it gets to that bridge and chorus, you can hear that R&B mixture, almost like the almost like the rap harmony mixture. You know what I mean? You can hear those elements, and it's interesting because it's just all like a lot of times you would hear about country artists and you would hear about them being racist. Like I don't know because I'm not going deep into it, you know. But when I hear that, but then I also hear the influence of several predominantly black genres and the influence on that. Like I've heard the influence of rap in country. I'm hearing more of like the R&B, it's like, and to me, it's just all like if you're able to do something and it's able to enhance, like it doesn't sound like he's just straight up ripping from somebody or anything like that. To me, I can hear the influence and I can hear how he's made it, incorporated it for him to have this own like unique way. So it kind of like with this song, it's like it sounds like a country song, but depending on at what part you hear it, you may think like it's an R&B song, or just like a harmonized like rap song where the rapper or somebody's like singing and it's harmonized and not going full-fledged like singing. That's why I say harmonized. um but this is cool. Like I said, the hearing it and then hearing the what he's saying in the verses. So it's not about one particular woman. It's about several interactions with different women and it being a cigarette. Now, I will say, as a disclaimer, kids, this isn't fun. Don't go out there smoking cigarettes, kids.
It was probably somewhere around 2 in the morning by the time we got down to that lucky cigarette laying on our backs. We were out of breath, we both took a drag, blew it in the sky. She was gone like that. One hell of a night, one hell of a pack.
Okay. Okay, so the other thing that I was thinking was the fact of um the women almost being a parallel to the cigarettes. Before we get into that, this video is sponsored by me. Hey, if you want to dive into new music, I have a catalog. Catalog. Yeah. These are not singles, these are albums. But more recently this year, I did release an album called Tame Chaos. So you can listen, stream, download, purchase all of that in the link in the description. And just check it out because I want to see if people are actually seeing this and going to the site. So and how I mean, if you're a smoker, you might understand this more, but basically how, the pack of cigarettes doesn't last forever, and it's just all like you hear the interaction, basically a one cigarette per woman, type of thing. And it even just the visuals of him and these different women in truck bed, it's as simple as it is. It's just like a man, a truck, and women. Yeah, you got this whole song, from it, this whole concept from it. And again, it doesn't need to be super deep, but that's what's dope about art, like that. This makes me have so many thoughts. I'm literally thinking about just different times of just, been at a place, chopped it up with someone, with a cigarette. But I'm thinking the cigarettes are like the women where they're good for the moment, but he hasn't found basically like the one, yeah, basically, but he's enjoyed these different interactions, and they kind of he talked about, like, several times how, she was just gone like that. It had this great time, but then, it was over. And I think that that's a lot of the interaction as far as with the cigarettes. So it's a simple concept, but it's dope. It's dope. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. You have any stories similar to this? Did you find your significant other like that? Or maybe the opposite when you quit or something like that? Let me know. But hey, Swiss Composition MC that writes fiction, back at it with another reaction. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video on the road to 10K. Make sure to check out the description for my music, books, comics, and more. All right, y'all. Peace.